Try new Jacob.
在香港这座城市的设置。
In the meantime, wave chat. Gulping. Whoa! This is a moment. Whoa! This is for the download.
One hour later.
Alright, finally. Alright. Okay, the next level is Impossible Wave Challenge by Panda 110. So let's do this. Wave Challenge by Panda 110. So let's do this. What is this? Almost beat it, almost beat it. Oh yeah! GG! Haha!
Bruh. Bruh.
FBI video, he can be seen doing a covert bag swap. He was swapping secrets in exchange for money.
Prosperity is back at McDonald's.
How many are a number of factors that can affect you should adapt getting more sleep, tired. This is because our sleep consists of 90-minute cycles. When you fall back asleep for such a short amount of time, your alarm wakes you up in the middle of your sleep phase, which will leave you feeling even more tired and sluggish. What I recommend is to use an app called Sleep Cycle. What this app does is it wakes you up at the end of your sleep phase. It does it by tracking your movements during the night, and the alarm only goes off when it detects you're at the end of the cycle. Waking up this way will leave you much more energetic than waking up in the middle of your REM phase. Number 2. Get enough sleep. We need a certain amount of sleep every day for our body to function properly. This may sound stupid and you probably already know this, but we tend to regularly sleep either too much or but you should go to sleep at the same time every night for a week. Wake up without an alarm and write down the number of hours you slept every night. At the end of the week, you should be able to see how many hours you need to wake up and have a great day. Hydrate yourself first thing in the morning. After 6 to 8 hours without water, you will naturally be dehydrated, and dehydration causes fatigue. Every single day before going to sleep, I always place a glass of water on my nightstand. That way, when I wake up, the water is already waiting for me. The objective is to rehydrate your body and mind as fast as possible to replace the water you were deprived of during the hours you slept. Often when people feel tired, whether in the morning or afternoon, what they really need is more water, not more coffee. Another important thing to do is some light exercise as soon as you wake up. Any physical activity that gets the heart rate up and the blood flowing is going to raise your energy levels. It may seem counterintuitive, and in a couple of minutes you'll feel some energy that wasn't there. Number 5 in the evening is that it tricks your body into thinking that it's actually daytime. When it gets darker outside, your body naturally produces a sleep hormone called melatonin. Since artificial light blocks melatonin production, we can really screw up our sleep because your body doesn't send signals to your cells that it's nighttime. That's why you shouldn't be looking at any screen at least 2 hours before bed. If you're watching this video on your phone at 2 AM because you have to get up early, well, you should apply this tip tomorrow and maybe replace your phone with a good book. For those of you who absolutely can't do without your phone or computer,
You got this. Come on. family or friends. In the game, the level says, oh wow, 11 minutes and 20 seconds solo demon, which means he truly put a lot of efforts into this level. Alright, that's enough GD for today. Oh my god, and he got 99%? Does it even have a 99% spot? Okay, after passing the shape part, oh, we can see the single boom, boom, single jump. What? Dorime. No fucking boom, boom, single jump. What? Dorime. No fucking way! And I don't even know what to say. And guys, are you ready to see how the level goes? The long walk home. I just watched the full gameplay. Over 11 minutes long. It is hard to believe, but it's 100% true. Okay. Oh, the moving saw is almost killing me. Oh. I'ma avoid like talking to focus on this level. Baby. Never mind. Yay, special up! Special up! Special level! Ooh, you decorated so good. Birthday. The first level. Okay, first of all, search like the right birthday. The first level. Look at my icon in the background. It's great. There are no care in the intro. Alright. This is actually no related to me. Just like first level. Reminds me of.
Hello, motherfucker.
Epic!
Wow.
This is so high quality. Yeah.
Dora.
It's been so hard. Next Dora birthday level. Happy birthday, Dora! Thanks. You've came so a long way. And I really. Next level! Happy birthday, Dora! A birthday cake. Fanboy Boosters Bra. No sub count. Huh? Yay! Next level! Happy birthday, During. Probably not going to stand this, but if. Hope you enjoy. Huh? Wake up.
Dora.
Wake up.
Dora cheater click moment. Pepsi.
Get off fucking stupid gear!
Hey. Dora. Happy birthday, Tom.
Yeah. The best level so far.
Why people say happy birthday, Tom?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, that's dream trouble.
Hope is going to help me out to beat this level. In a row, right?
Help it do the UFO part. Okay, I'll help Dora.
He's spam no. Let's see what's happening in the chat.
I'm sorry, guys. Last chance to beat this level.
Ah! Yeah! Then
For a moment.
This is the last one. They already.
hey you.
A few moments later.
Pog? Oh, it's unfinished level, but that's fine. In control. Oh, pee.
Drop.
Let's go!
Happy
The creator
birthday.
said like one attempt challenge on this. To me, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy. I don't like. To me. I'll see you in the next stream, guys.
I had the horrible idea to decorate levels from the 2.2 recent tab. I attempted this crazy challenge before, but that was in 2.1. Now we have a whole new selection of tools at our disposal, as well as even wilder levels. So let's get right into the video. I stumbled across this level with some very trippy gameplay. Spikes move all over the place, making it hard to sight read. It didn't use too many 2.2 features, however, I was going to change that with my decoration. I started by outlining the structures. I then proceeded to fill them in using these grass objects. For the majority of this build process, I used a red color, but I eventually changed it because I didn't like the look of it. I struggled to decorate these slopes, but I eventually came up with something I liked. Now, it is time to include the first 2.2 feature, the particle editor. Basically, this is a 2.2 feature which allows you to create particle effects. So after spending like half an hour trying to figure out how it works, I eventually made this. Yeah, it isn't much, but it's okay for a beginner, right? So I placed these torches featuring the custom particles around, and then immediately ran out of ideas. I tried experimenting with saws and stuff, but I never found anything I really liked. I eventually decided on using these brick pieces to fill in some empty space, and I think they look decent. I then messed around with different color pulses, but once again, I couldn't find anything that I really liked. Afterwards, I added these brick blocks inside the block design to vary it a little. Anyway, the next 2.2 feature I added would be camera controls, or more specifically, camera rotation. I tried to use it enough to where the gameplay was still playable, so nothing over the top. I then added some subtle camera zoom, making the level a little more dynamic. I decided to use a few more 2.2 features, or to be a little more specific, the new 2.2 decoration. I added these, presents, since they were available to me, I guess. I then added these ladders. Both of these 2.2 features did a nice job at filling in more space, and I think they look alright. Remember how I said I would eventually change the color to something other than red? Well, I did that now, choosing this blue color scheme which I thought looked better. Anyway, here is the final product. While not featuring many 2.2 features initially, I added a few, which I think greatly improves the level. Overall, I think I did a good job decorating this, but I'm not sure. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, and why not subscribe while you're at it? Anyway, in this next level, the player ascends, as they must climb this wall. The level makes heavy use of reverse orbs and reverse triggers, meaning it is using the new 2.2 features. Hey, are there any veterans watching who remember the sunset style? Well, we are going to be using that style on this level, making... After this, I placed some pixel stairs and ladders around to fill in more empty space. I then lots of more glow. I knew experimenting with other colors and different backgrounds, but I didn't like that either. I then placed some more glow and worked on this simple background. It's nothing much, but it adds some more detail to the part. Finally, I used camera controls to position the camera's X position properly, making the player feel even more like they are climbing some kind of cliff. Anyway, here is the final product. I feel this level is far too messy, or at least more messy. Our first platformer level. It is a small spider maze with a very simple solution. However, decorating it was not easy. Opening the level, I was greeted with this. So it turns out the original creator wasn't 100% sure how to do things, using these, red objects as hitboxes or something. Look, I don't even know. Fortunately, I was able to reuse them by just switching their red color to a blending black, and now the object outlines are all ready and done for us. I then set up this simple static camera effect like I used for the last level, allowing me to figure out what space I had to work with. So here's the deal. I wanted to try and use these new 2.2 pixel blocks, but let's just say there is a reason 2.2 is not out yet. None of the blocks fit the grid spaces properly, half of them are missing, and overall they were a pain to work with. I tried but just couldn't make anything worthwhile, so instead I went with the slightly less original option of using basic bricks. However, there were still some pixel blocks I could use for other designs, so I made use of a lot of other pixel designs I had access to. I placed around some ladders, some railings, and some grass designs. I tried experimenting with these staircases, but I didn't think they fit the theme very well. What I really liked were these lanterns, or at least that is what I think they are supposed to be. Anyway, I placed them around, using another pixel object for the light inside of them. After that, I placed some background bricks and improved the coloring. I know I didn't spend as much time on this as I did the other levels, but here is the final product. Overall, I think this level is very plain. It doesn't have much going on, and the colors do look a little boring. As always, be sure to let me know what you think of this one, as I am especially divided. Fortunately, it didn't take me nearly as long to find another level to decorate. It was another platformer level. The goal in this level is to climb 2 towers. There is also a hidden coin in the wall that I will definitely have to hide better. Firstly, the hitboxes in the small coin room were pretty messed up, so I had to redo that as well as change some of the outlines to fit what I was going for. Afterwards, I did the block design using a simple brick design consisting of bigger bricks on the outside, a line of glow, and smaller bricks on the inside. It isn't much, but I think it fits the tower theme. I then made some darker background brick designs and placed those around. They helped to fill in even more space, making the level already feel more complete. I then worked on these, step things. I made them work as semi-solids, with the player being able to jump on top of them from below. I gave them a simple design and placed them around. I thought that these 2.2 ladders would fit these towers perfectly, so I placed them through the shafts, adjusting the surrounding structures accordingly. I then used these new decorations and placed them around as if they were boxes. I had to scale them accordingly since they are obviously unfinished and currently don't snap to the grid. I also adjusted the object outline color, making it feel more vibrant. I tried looking for more pixel designs, but settled on these fence-like pieces, which I placed around. I removed the saw blade originally present and replaced it with a path leading to another coin. For the original coin, I just made its room invisible. If this were a serious project, I would probably make a cool animation that makes the room visible upon the player entering it, but for this simple level, I didn't have the time to make that. Anyway, here's the final product. I would say this is just slightly better than the previous level, as I like the colors more. This one isn't too creative, but I think I did this gameplay justice. Anyway, since I decorated these last two levels relatively quickly, I decided to decorate one more level for this video, which is more than I decorated the last time I tried. Decorating this swing copter challenge should be very interesting. I decided to use this blue and gray color scheme. I wanted to give this level an industrial feel, so I used these industrial looking objects. I used these ground spikes along with their corresponding outline objects, as I also thought they looked industrial. To fill in more space, I made these saw designs and scattered them around. It took me a while to find good places to put them that did not affect the gameplay, but I eventually figured it out. I then decorated this straight copter section. But seriously, I wonder if people will apply straight flying to the swing copter in the future. After copy and pasting a few more structures, the level was beginning to take shape. I added more ground spikes and placed some more saw blades before moving on to these background designs, which is basically just the block design made darker. Actually, that is exactly what it is. I placed these background designs around, and along with the saw blades, they worked really well to fill in more empty space. To further fill in space, I made this simple arrow design and placed it around as well. Anyway, here's the final product. Overall, this is definitely the cleanest design out of all the levels I decorated today. It doesn't feature many 2.2 mechanics aside from the swing copter.
Green dreams, it seems, are coming true. They're ringing, but it takes a toll.
What is the most impossible Geometry Dash level? That is the question I set out to answer, and I started with this. As you can see, there is no way to get past this wall, and therefore the level cannot be beaten. While it may theoretically be possible to beat using block clip bugs, for this specific setup, it should be impossible without changing the level. But what if I said it can be beaten? I am sure we are all aware of the no-clip mod. It allows you to pass through objects without dying, so this level quite literally becomes auto with this enabled. Okay, so how can we stop cheaters like this? Well, I originally came up with this design using half slabs, and it seemed to work well. It stopped players from progressing in the level. Until they jumped. I then went back to the drawing board and came up with this design. In the ship game mode, pushing the player into the ground using slopes actually stops them, and since no clip cannot clip through these slopes thanks to the way they are positioned, it makes this level truly impossible, right? Well, there are other mods in the game, such as Instant Complete, which skips over everything in the level until the end. So, how could we stop instant completers? Well, using something known as a crash trigger. When Sonic Wave Infinity was rated, quickly after, it got unrated because of a crash trigger someone hid in the level. And that's exactly what popularized their existence. The crash trigger is basically a normal trigger, except with messed up values like this. Upon being triggered, your game just closes. Upon activating the crash trigger, your game will just since it makes an impossible level. Firstly, the level should be, well, at least somewhat physically possible with a possible level. So I made this. It is very tight, but technically possible. While it looks like the wave is actually touching the spikes, it will not die because spike hitboxes are actually really small. Once again, it didn't take much digging to come up with this, so here's a new rule. Impossible levels should have at least decent decoration and gameplay. The most obvious level to come to mind after knowing these rules is Silent Circles, which for a long time was considered the hardest physically possible level ever. Although, it is considered impossible to be beaten legitimately because of the crazy clicks per second required at its infamous mini-wave part. In fact, the rest of the level isn't even that impossible, but this is what makes the level impossible. Or at least it would if people were not actually trying to pass it. Yeah, I am not kidding. People are counting the spikes they can pass to see how far they can get. And this level further enters the realm of possibility thanks to clicking techniques such as bolt clicking. But nevertheless, trying to find more impossible levels was tough. I spent hours journeying through the community, looking in every little corner for more impossible levels. Everything was timeless as I searched for the most impossible level. Wait, timeless? Timeless by Cyrillic is an interesting level, and I didn't remember it until after I remembered Silent Circles, which also features Cyrillic as one of its creators. To put it simply, Timeless is an infinite level. It features a negative amount of seconds, so somehow the end of the level is actually before the player and impossible to reach. While the level is not playable anymore, we can go inside the editor to see what it was like in Whoa! The design I came up with earlier using a crash trigger. While there is no known way to beat it yet, I wouldn't be surprised if someone finds a way around it. So it doesn't really qualify for this video, but I felt that it was still worth mentioning. Anyway, by now I asked you guys for help again, and while this time I mostly only got a lot of back on track and other jokes, this one comment would send me down a rabbit hole of impossible. So it doesn't really qualify for comment would send me down a rabbit hole of impossible levels. So I thought Silent Circles was hard. This level called Wistfully has the player invisible for most of the level and has insane two-player duels. Unlike Silent Circles, I couldn't even record a decent replay of it, so this will have to do. But the most important thing about this comment was that it mentioned something called the Impossible Levels list. So I did some digging, and it turns out that there is actually a whole community of people that have the same goal that I do in this video, which is to find the most impossible level. I went to their list, and the first thing I noticed was that Wistfully isn't even the hardest level. Instead, the hardest level, according to the list, is actually a level called Ballistic Wistfully. Now we are starting to enter territory where the current top 1 rated level on Pointer Crate, Tartarus, is starting to look like an easy demon, being at spot 271 of this list. So anyway, this is what Ballistic Wistfully looks like. As you can see, I'm in the editor of the level. This is because the level is literally so hard that I cannot get a decent recording of it, even using tools such as NoClip. So does that mean this level is the most impossible level in this game? Well, no, at least not going by the rules I put in place.